All right, good morning, everyone. This is Uma coming to you from Lotus Wellness Center, and this is one of my videos for the UVVL Uma's Vault of Vulnerability videos. What's the L for? I forgot. Okay. Um, I actually wanted to start this one off about a talk about empaths and just how special empaths are. I know the majority of you watching this video are empathic. You've been described as empaths. Maybe you've just found out that you're an empath and you're still trying to grasp that concept. So I'm going to break it down for you a little bit about what it means to be an empath. An empath is someone who uses, of all the clear abilities, and the clear abilities are your psychic abilities, which, by the way, everybody has them. An empath uses clairsentience, which is the ability to feel. And most, by the way, psychics and mediums, when they're developing, that tends to be the one clair that people use the most, is the clairsentience, the gift of feeling. The problem for empaths is that they're unaware that it's a muscle that they're using, and they tend to overuse the muscle. So then what happens if you overuse a muscle? You know, if you go to a gym and you do like 500 dumbbell pull-ups, you're building your biceps, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. You're going to get tired. You're going to feel exhausted, and you probably can't lift that arm again. So that's what happens to empaths, is that they overuse their clairsentience muscle, which is the muscle of feeling, if you will, and then they get tired or exhausted or fatigued. So the first thing we're going to talk about is that nobody can attach to you. No spirits can attach to you or suck your energy. That's a lot of Hollywood there, but what do I know? I've just been on this path all my life and been studying this path all my life. So if you'd like some words of wisdom, it's stop using that muscle so much. And then you wouldn't feel so worn down, tired, exhausted, fatigued. No one can really harm you. We have free will. And I doubt your will, when you were born on this planet, was to allow other people to use you or to hurt you without your consent. So when you hear about empaths saying they're tired, they're withdrawn, or they're fatigued, the best thing for an empath to do is to withdraw from people. And again, no big woo-woo or witchy stuff attached to it. It's just they naturally, when they're around people, they open up that muscle. So when we see empaths that are tired, we tend to tell them, okay, just withdraw from people, go into nature. And the reason why we say that is when they're away from people, they can rebuild their energy, they can rest that muscle. Unless you're going into nature and you really want to, psychically feel a deer or a rabbit. But most people don't. When you go into nature, you just really want to relax and rejuvenate. So for all the empaths watching this video, I hope that little kernel of truth is helpful for you, because I know when I discovered that a long time ago, it was very helpful for me. One, it allowed me to take back my power. So I couldn't attribute what I was feeling to someone else. I couldn't give my power away because I was like, wait a minute, that's me. I'm doing this to myself. So it made me feel better knowing that I have complete control in the situation and I can take care of myself. I am a very highly sensitive empath, as most of you are. So when I find myself running down, my battery's getting low, the first thing I do is I remove myself from people. I hole up in my house, I Netflix and chill on my couch, I order in pizza, and I have the best darn day or days or week. Okay, sometimes it's even been a month. So that brings me to my second point. You don't need to make excuses about taking time away from people. And you don't need to feel bad about needing to take time away from people. What you're essentially saying is to your loved ones, I love you. I want to be the best I can be around you. So I'm going to need some time away from you to just recuperate, rest, recharge my batteries so I can come back and be the loving, gracious person that I am. So allow yourself to have time and space for yourself, because empaths tend to be in situations where there's a lot of people around, or they're always catering to someone else or taking care of someone else. And, in time, that's not going to work out, because it's going to drain you and then it affects the relationship. Okay. So that's just my little tidbit. So for those of you that are empathic and you want to know, okay, I'm aware now that it's me. I'm causing this pain and suffering on myself because I'm wearing down. What should I do? I always recommend two things. One, learn how to ground, which is really just self-care, taking care of yourself. And then two, get classes, get learning. Learn how to use your clairsentience ability properly. So that way you're not overusing it or overextending yourself, and then you can be better equipped to handle people. And it can be done. Don't listen to people who say it can't be done. I'm a spiritual teacher in my community. Sometimes I have to speak on a stage in front of thousands of people. So for an empath, that's scary. Nobody wants to do that, especially an empath. But there's ways that you can work with your abilities so that you can still have a normal life. Or, what's normal anyways, right? But you can still have a good life where you're not constantly drained or tired or irritated or exhausted. And I'm hoping that this video brings that realization to you, that I can work with my abilities. I can learn to take better care of myself and, go from there. I do offer consultations for empaths, not trying to make this a sale video, but just to give you an idea, what I tend to do is I tend to do a spiritual healing session for an empath. And then we include some talk time to set up some parameters for their life so that they can start to recognize when they're going low in their energy, when their battery's getting depleted, and what they need to do to restock on that vital life force energy. To all empaths everywhere, I highly recommend you take a Reiki class wherever you are, because especially Reiki 1, you don't need to go further. I always recommend you go through all the classes, but really and truly just Reiki 1, because it teaches you how to work on yourself and how to administer the Reiki healing energy to refill your fuels, if you will. So I hope this video, sorry, that's my hand shaking. I hope that I went to the gym. See, that's what happens when you overuse a muscle. It gets weak and tired and shaky. And that's how we tend to be in life, right? Weak and tired and shaky. So I hope this video is helpful for the empaths. And I want you to know that I know what it's like, because I've spent the majority of my life, at least at this point now, half of my life, living in a reactive mode, which is what empaths do when they feel like they're backed in a corner. So if you've been frustrated or angry or yelling at people, chances are it might not even be them. It really is just you're not in that space to handle human interaction, and you just kind of want it to stop, and you react in whatever way that is necessary. Again, don't beat yourself up. I'm in my 40s. If I had to beat myself up for every time I've been a crappy person to other people, I would not be a very happy person today. The beauty of life is that we get to learn and continuously learn. And it doesn't matter what you did in the past. What matters is that you become aware of it now, and you try your hardest and your best to make the changes you need to make to be a better person. And I've tried very hard. I've hurt a lot of people over the years. And, I've apologized to them, either to them by writing them or telling them, but I've also apologized to them energetically, because some of them, don't want to talk to you and whatnot. And that's fine. You don't want to force your way into anybody's life. So we all make mistakes. But the problem is that when people make mistakes, they judge themselves harder than is necessary. And you empaths are good at doing that. You can get a trophy. You can get a trophy for that, because you're really good at just sticking it to yourself, if you will. Okay, my lovely empaths, listen, it's important that you take ownership of what you're going through, of your behavior, of your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, because as you've been noticing with the planetary movements, it's been crazy. Summer 2019 was intense. If you can remember summer 2019, it was intense for a lot of people. We had the Mercury retrograde, we had the Neptune retrograde, we had the Pluto retrograde, we had Saturn retrograde. And all these planets are part of our charts, our natal charts. And when things are going retrograde, it's going backwards. And if you're not in a sound and safe place, then you really can start to feel the effects of that. And then you can start to react from that place. You can cause a lot of damage to people, to relationships, to your career, to your health. So I'm hoping that with this video, I reach you and you start to think, what can I do? What can I do to start to make the changes now and to take care of myself and my health so I can be a better person and a steward on this earth? All right. So please feel free to share my video if you feel that someone can learn from this or benefit from this or it can help someone. And check out my website. I am Uma Alexandra B. Pat, the owner of Lotus Wellness Center in Northern Virginia. That's where my center is located. And I love to help people, and that's why I'm doing these videos. So please like my video, click subscribe on my channel, and you'll be seeing a lot more of me. Bye.